across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains. Through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable They are not picking our calls. They made up their minds.
So no agreement with the EU, but
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world. ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Welcome to Atlantic Television Network Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to provide solutions that will benefit humanity. On today's Society Watch, we are looking at numbers of issues starting from Anambra State. Community President's General push for genotype law enforcement. From Ogun State government to prosecute parents, students for assaulting principal, teacher. From Lagos State, hardship not excuse to turn underbridge home. That's from Sanwo-Olu. From Abuja, police apprehend chef for kidnapping employee's 12-year-old son. On child abuse, police arrest 65-year-old pastor for allegedly defiling minor. These are the stories we'll be looking at today. And joining me in the show this afternoon, is a lecturer and senior administrative staff at Clifford University, Abia State. I will introduce him to you when we return from the show to break. Do stay with us.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on-the-spot news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today. Only on ATN.
People into the country illegally. That is amazing.
Honorable
You human
On the point of order.
Honorable Chairman.
Welcome back. This is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. If you're just joining us, you are welcome. And joining me in this conversation this afternoon is a lecturer and senior administrative staff at Clifford University, Abia State. I'm talking about Dr. Barido Thompson Okochi. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Immaculata.
Good to
Good
have you
afternoon,
on the show.
viewer.
All right, let's look at our first story from Anambra State. The presidents general of various communities in Anambra State have been urged to enforce the sickle cell law regarding genotype compatibility before marriage to reduce the spread of the disease. Mr. Aisha Magoa, the director of the sickle cell orphanage and the underprivileged home in Anambra State, made this call while leading vulnerable children from their home to meet with the Anambra State Commissioner for Local Government, Constituency and Community Affairs, Honorable Toye Collins Nwabu Nwana. Madugo emphasized the Anambra State sickle cell law, which empowered the President General of the Town Union to ensure strict compliance with the genotype compatibility. Strict compliance with genotype compatibility among intending couples in their domain. She urged the commissioners to ensure full adherence to this law by two union and local government authorities to reduce the numbers of sickle cell births. She also stressed the need for government support in sickle cell sensitization and genotype education across all communities in the state. Madugwal lamented the Association of Sickle Cell Disorder inability to secure a permanent location, attributing it to some individuals frustrating their efforts to support sickle cell patients. In response, Commissioner Nwabuwane promised to assist vulnerable children with sickle cell disorder, providing necessary support for their continual survival. He commended the association for its commitment to the state government and pledged sustainable intervention to improve the children's living conditions. Nwabuwane also provide financial assistance to support the children's upkeep and promised to address their grievances through appropriate channels. Dr. Okochi, now how can individuals and organizations support the efforts of the Association of Sickle Cell Disorder in Anambra State? Now, looking at the fact that in 70s, these kind of things, these kind of issues, they were actually things, it was things that people were not really aware of because there was no much awareness created. But in this our generation now, I mean, sickle cell is something that a common man should know. How are they planning to address it when this has to do with two lovebirds? And you see some person said, I don't mind your genotype, as long as I love you, I will go into this with you. And then the presidents general of the various communities have come up to say that they are going to place law on this. Anyone caught will actually be punished for this. Is it something that they are still supposed to be educating people at this age that we are? Are they planning to fight that?
We're dealing with sickle cell sensitization and genotype education. And what you have said is what I agree. Let's begin with individuals. Even the Bible says in times of ignorance, God will overlook. These are not times of ignorance. This is the jet age. You know, it's a digital age. Information is at the tip of our fingers. It's just a matter of a send button, and you get a download of things. And there's hardly really any reason why sickle cell patients should be on the increase, on the rise in this our modern age. So to respond to you directly, Nigerians, let me talk to Nigerians. Nigerians, please avail yourself. Before anyone gets into marriage, let that be very clear investigation. Are you AS? Is the other person partner AS? It shouldn't work. Well, we're told that the configuration is a permutation. It could be AS, and when the child comes, but it could be SS. That it could be. That other one is enough to say, please, can we stop this?
Now, Dr. Okochi, based on what you just said, now that you were a pastor, you would not want to encourage people to give back to God what He has given us to do.
To take a risk.
All right.
Yes.
I have seen a situation where SS turned to AA by faith. But again, why do you think people damn these consequences and just go into marriage even when they know that they are not? I think people to check their genotype before they decide to walk down the aisles. Why do you think people still damn consequences of this when they know that they would definitely multiply, they would definitely produce? Why do they go extra mile to still damn all of this?
Yeah,
what they have to do?
Like I was saying, part of it is a presumptuous act. You know that this is risky. You want to take the risk. But I'm just encouraging us as Nigerians. I'm a fellow Nigerian. Let's not push ourselves to that extent. What is worth doing is worth doing well. Let us do, if we're going to get married, let's get married properly. Let's not take deliberate, intentional risks, because the people we will produce will suffer, and we too. Watching over a child that is always sickly, because that's what it means. Sickle cell simply means the person will be sick. It's pathetic. Let's not. And
law enforcement of genotype, all right? But what if the families of the two that are very much aware that this is it, they are not compatible in terms of genotype, and then they still give go ahead in the marriage? Do you think that this law would definitely work? What if it gets to a point of giving go ahead, and this is our daughter, this is our son? Who are you to come and enforce this law? Who are you to come and say pay this or pay that? If it has to do with fine and all of those. Do you think it will be easy for them to allow this to work? Because, Dr. Okochi, if you will bear with me, if there is a family that there is a sickle cell, they want their daughter to be married.
God into your own temptation. That is not Christianity. The Christians don't make God to jump into their temptation. If you see temptation, you resist it. But if temptation overwhelms you, God will help you. But when you know you can escape, don't go and drag God into it. But that's by the way. So for me, let's forgive those who have done it, because it's already done. But going forward, let there be clear tests. Let there be a laboratory investigation. Oh, you are this. Oh, you are this. You are not compatible. Oh, we are sorry. We cannot. Let's not just go ahead and say, no, doctor, it doesn't matter. Whatever is, I bind it, I cast it. You cannot just bind and cast things that God has given wisdom.
We cannot turn back the hand of clock, right? And then, yes, man or woman, and we are expecting them to get married. So are you saying going forward, since they know that this is a
genotype will not allow for marriage? Because you see, these things are in different ways. If I am AA, even if you are SS, there is no risk. If I'm AA and the other person is SS, there is no risk. But once we have an S involved, whether it's SS or AS, and the other person has an S, the possibility, the probability, it is that one that doctors say don't go into it. And the other thing I also want to advise is, before people get too bounded to the point where they cannot be separated and then they will be crying, do the test on time.
All right, for those of you that are AS, you have heard it from Dr. Okochi. You don't need to go into marriage knowing that you're going to definitely produce, and you don't want to put other people's lives in danger. So you just have to be careful. But what happened to you, I mean, if you have faith, if God did it for Mr. A, he can do it for you. All right, the next story is from Ogun State. The Ogun State Commissioner for Education, Professor Bayomi Aribabu, has announced the Akani Aze Olawale and SS3 students of Agbara Grammar School in Odo-Ata local government area of the state, who allegedly assaulted a teacher and his parents, will soon be prosecuted. According to reports, the school principal stated that since Olawale had registered for May June West African Senior Secondary School examination at another private school, he should not be considered a student of Agbara Grammar School. As a result, his uniform was seized. A source who spoke with our correspondent said Olawale would, however, not take this kindly, as he went back to his parents, to his home, and stormed aside and explained the situation of things to the parents. Felt so as they started attacking the principal. It was in course of this that the students Olawale slapped one of the teachers and tore his clothes. Agribado said, yes, I am aware of the incident. It is commendable and such won't be allowed in our school. I am in touch with the relevant authorities and I can tell you that the boy and his parents will be prosecuted. I learned that the parents are also begging us, but I have insisted that they will go to court. It is a challenge that we had in the past when some of these parents were joining their children to attack the teachers, but since one of the parents begged since 6 months of community service, the rubbish has stopped. So for this one too, the state government will prosecute those involved. That is the only way to send signal to others that may want to travel this unpopular and crude way. The chairman of Academy Staff Union of Secondary School, Ogun State, Comrade Shegun Base Sanwa, while condemning the incident, urged the government to ensure that appropriate sanctions were meted out to those involved in the inversion and alleged assault on both the teacher and the principal of the school. This thing we used to see it in 90s, where, or we used to hear about it or read about it better still in a book, where you see you discipline a student and then they will bring their parents to come and fight you. It seems that was we have not actually seen that now, except maybe it has to do with defilement, all right? But in a situation of students, because for you to register, for you to even go to another school to register, it means that you are willing to let go this one. I have seen a child where she was supposed to be in SS3. I mean, yes, SS3. Yes, SS3. And then the mother said, okay, I don't want you to continue here. Instead of paying another school fees, come and register for your exam in this other school, then continue from there, all right? So she was rather going for, what did they call it, lesson, normal evening lesson, instead of school. And that is the same thing the principal said here, which I don't know if there's anything wrong with that. And only for him to get home, come with the parents. And then what happened to the parents? We keep saying that it's society that is following people, social media. Meanwhile, everything starts from home. Our home is family is the smallest unit we have in our society. So in a situation that training is not even
this level, so those things pain me as a sociologist who is concerned about the development of society and the advancement of human community. These things are an eyesore. That is on one side. The other side is, since I do not have information on the two sides, I wouldn't really know how things happened. But it is clear, like you said, that for the parents, if this is true and the parents accompanied their son to come and do violence in school, it means that the violence of that child, the violent habit, violent attitude of that child is coming from the parents. Because I wouldn't expect that parents would come to fight the principal. And in their presence, your son tore the clothes of his own teacher. Teachers are sacred. Pupils should not lay hands on. So it's a complex situation. That's why I agree with the commissioner, the professor who is the commissioner of education in Ogun State. Let it be prosecuted and let the matter be prosecuted, and then or let the characters be prosecuted, the parents and the child, and then let the course of the law take its proper shape, so that these things will not rear their ugly heads again.
All right, the next one is from Lagos State. Lagos State government emphasized that hardship should not be a justification for occupying space under bridges or other public areas. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's Chief Press Secretary Bayoga Akosile stated this on Sunday in response to inquiries about the government's plans for individuals who might claim poverty as a reason for trading or residing under bridges. The state government initiated the clamp-up of sanities inhabited by the quarters under the Obalande Bridge in the Eti-Osa local government area of state on Saturday. This action followed the expiration of the 4 days ultimatum issued to the occupants last week. While responding to the question from the correspondent on telephone interview on Sunday, Akosile said that in a general question, but the living standard of the people should not be a reason why you turn public space into your homes. There is a master plan for the state, don't forget. It's just unfortunate that people turn public space into homes. We cannot surrender the state to lawlessness and hooliganism, and not just Obalende, but all public space, he stressed. He added in terms of that the government is doing to alleviate the suffering of the people. The administration of Governor Sanwo-Olu has done so much in the area of housing. There is a housing scheme for low salary earners. Once you are working in Lagos and you earn something, you should be able to afford some of our houses. The journalist reports that Governor Sanwo-Olu, alongside his deputy Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, among other state officials, on Sunday inspected the ongoing cleanup at Obalende Underbridge and Ijara Causeway Underbridge. While speaking during one of the visits, Sanwo-Olu said, "The underbridge is not a house. We will find a way to support you elsewhere. We will not turn this place into homes. We will make it a sports ground and for other useful purposes. I heard some people are making shops, rooms and parlors here. There is nothing like that again. No government will allow people to reside under the bridge." All right. Now, Sanwo-Olu said that there is access to affordable houses for low-income residents in Lagos. That's low-income learners, because of course a lot of persons have been saying that if you go to Lagos City, you realize that some masses, I mean, some individuals are staying under the bridge. All right, but I believe that one that has a little shop to retail wouldn't stay on the bridge. I also believe that one that is being employed, where you are earning up to 30,000, wouldn't want to go and live on that bridge. If you look at these people staying on that bridge, you will realize that most of them are guest smokers. So when the governor is saying that this place is not going to be where you will stay, yes, they're not supposed to be there. How is he planning to help them? He's saying if you're in Lagos and you're doing a little thing, that he will support. All right, there is a plan for housings for low-income learners. When he's talking about low income, I mean, what exactly is he talking about? Is it people earning from 10,000 up, or from people earning 2,000 daily that is just for feeding? How is he planning to do it? Because it seems that Lagos is overpopulated.
Immaculata and Nigeria, we are not planners. We don't plan. We don't plan. You see, Lagos constantly attracts influx of people, not just from all parts of Nigeria, but even outside Nigeria. And you know, we don't have checks. Our borders are porous. If anybody were to do a diligent study of how many people come into Lagos, relocate to Lagos on a daily basis, we will see that the issue of housing will continually be a crisis. And looking for where to live and where to hide, the shanties and suburbs will always be an issue, because there is no deliberate, conscious, intentional plan on living spaces in Lagos. By the way, do we even know the population of Lagos? It will always be estimates. In senior climes, in territories, in countries specifically, you should be able to have statistics. A so number of people that's the population of Lagos. So number of housing units are available. So number of persons are homeless. So number of persons are in need. All those kind of things. But here, anything goes. Anything goes. So it's going to continue to be a crisis. We'll be managing it and just managing and managing, because we're not planners.
All right, this is Society Watch on Atlantic Television Network. We'll just go on a very short break. When we return, we'll continue with this story. Don't go nowhere.
from the lines across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
That the reality is that it's not going to work that way. Like I was saying before we went on break, has he asked how many people are involved? Let's assume that Lagos has 20 million people. Has he found out whether the people that are homeless or people who need housing are 5 million? Is the government producing 5 million units of housing? So those are the things. You don't just make statements this way. So what I would say is this. Sincerely, this is my sincere input. Because we want to beautify Lagos as our commandos and all kinds of homeless people sleeping under our bridges, because watching it from satellite, from space, it doesn't give Lagos a good reputation. I agree. But as we move them or evacuate them, to where?
But do you think that the hardship in the country is really the reason they are staying under the bridge?
Of course, that's why I feel that they are not even saying the reality. The reality is that the hardship in the country is part of the major reason why people are staying under the bridge. Why would I go stay under the bridge if things are okay with me? So who is deceiving who? Let us just be honest. The hardship is the reason. But then I'm saying that, given that agreed it is the reason, but it should not be a continuous reason. Therefore, move them out so that Lagos can look clean. But to where? To where?
To the affordable houses.
Maybe you provide 500 units of housing for 5 million people. That's where the issue is.
But they have to pay.
I agree, but you look at the statistics. That is why, for me, there should be conscious, deliberate planning.
Where did they get the money from to start with?
The money is there.
Also known as Daru Adamu, along with another suspect on February 14, 2024. The statement read in part, investigation by the police revealed that the principal suspect, who has since confessed to crime, conspired with one McDon Arize, currently at large, to commit the crime. The suspect has earlier obtained 3.9 million as ransom from the victim's father. The arm of the law, however, caught up with the criminals following in testifying efforts by the police. The boy was rescued unhurt and reunited with his parents. The coach, some earlier exhausted, was equally recovered. This is quite a sad one. Dr. Kochi, you know, is it now a crime for one to bring someone in to assist in doing something? And what is the parameter to measure who is genuine and who is not? Because that is the issue of trust that we have here. Yes, we know that trusting someone is risky, you know, because we can't tell what the person is capable of doing the next minute. But this is a child here that's supposed to be working and be paid for, adopting the Oga's son, and then asking for ransom.
It's bad.
What is going on in our country? Is this part of the economic hardship in the country as well?
It's bad. This is just pure criminality. it's whether the hardship in the country. I mean, if hardship makes him to steal probably pot of soup, one can understand, even if one will not support that. But kidnapping and then collecting 3.9 million, that's just pure criminality. And then abusing the office, the trust, betraying the trust that was reposing. Because as a chef, he's the one that cooks. So, and it means that if he poisons the food, everybody will die. It's a matter of trust, and he has betrayed the trust. So now that he has been apprehended, he may say it's the devil, but he has to go, both him and the devil will go to prison.
People out there, because there are some families that they are doing a kind of work where they can't really pay full attention to their home, so they have to bring someone in, the third leg, to support them.
Yeah,
but in this
true.
case where you can't possibly trust anyone,
true.
what do you do?
That's true. What I would advise Nigerians is they may have to up their game when it comes to their intuition. Let's keep praying that God will give us discernment, because before somebody reaches this height, that's my belief. This one now, I'm selling my personal opinion, and I can be queried for my personal opinion. Before somebody gets to this height, there may have been little signals that this one cannot be trusted. At that point, when your intuition, your inner gut is saying, this person does not fit here, that's the time to negotiate the person's exit. It is when we allow them and say, well, don't worry, he will overcome. No, it's just an accusation, it's just a feeling, this and that. And then the devil inside him, the little python becomes a dragon. Because my belief is that before he got to this height of kidnapping his boss's son and collecting up to 3.9 million naira, he must have been doing certain things that will give a signal that this young man has issues. But if we overlook, then the little scorpion in him turns to be a dragon later.
How do you even... So what is the scope for parents that are very busy? What is the scope they should employ? What should they do to be able to determine all of this? Because we have equally seen in a story where a gate man defied the boss' daughter. We have equally seen a situation where the gate man led what they call gunmen into the compound, pretending like he doesn't know what is going on. So is it that we should not entertain external bodies anymore into our homes? And then for those that are busy, what should they do to be able to keep their home while working?
The answer that Jesus will give is watch and pray.
And
if you watch, you will see signals. That's my, and it has helped me a lot. You know, as you relate with people, gradually you begin to see signs and signals. It is when you ignore the signals or downplay the signs that the scorpion becomes a dragon. But when it is showing, that's the time to negotiate the person's exit.
How do you know the signal? What signal are you talking about? Well, I mean, one can be so lovable and do something that you can't even imagine.
I agree. I agree. But once in a while, when you lean on God's wisdom, the person betrays himself once in a while, and it shows. Those things show. You take note, it shows. And then one of these days you see the person down and you run through those series and say, with this, I cannot trust you again.
All right, the next story is from Ogun State. The Ogun State Police Command has, for allegedly defiling a 9-year-old girl in Mbaboro Obafemi, Owode local government area of the state. The incident, which occurred on February 15th, was brought to light after the girl's uncle raised an alarm. The 65-year-old suspect is believed to be the leader of the church in the community. According to the family of the survivor, the clergyman lured the minor into his apartment and sexually assaulted her. The state police spokesperson Omolola Odutola, who spoke with reporters, said on Sunday confirmed the incident and noted that the investigation was ongoing. She said the pastor has been arrested. The family was issued form to allow the survivor to have a medical examination and treatment. All the parties will be transferred to the headquarters for the further investigation. The command told reporters on Saturday that the incident happened on February 8, 2024. Speaking about the incident, Odutola said the surveillance team were immediately mobilized to the scene, adding that the entire area was combed for useful information, and the suspect was apprehended and brought to the station for questioning. The victim was taken to the hospital for treatment. The case filed and parties involved will be transferred to the State Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department in Abeokuta for discreet investigations. Defilement is one of the sexual offenses under Nigerian criminal law. While reacting to the incident of defilement,